Cirstea, a teenager out of Romania, serving now. And tell us, Lindsay, a little bit about her game.
She's so young and she's still developing her games, but definitely her ground stroke and her shot-making ability. She has the ability to hit winners off both wings. Her patience is a weakness. She's still working on trying to be more consistent. And we mentioned that foot injury. It'll be interesting to see how that affects her movement today.
15 love.
Yeah, that consistency that you mentioned is such a key for a player to become an elite player, whether it's the men's or the women's tour. And Stosur is developing more consistency. That's why she's in the top 20. To be able to play well week to week.
And also not to panic on the court, not to go for the winners when you don't need to go. You can see she's come through in very close matches this week. Her big win against Caroline Wozniacki in the second round, and also that big win yesterday against Agnieszka Radwanska.
Yeah, that was a long, tough match. And you said bothered by the foot injury, but she's playing on here today. One last thought about consistent. It seems like the best players have a dependable game, dependable weapons that they can rely on in the clutch so that they can get through tough matches like she has done this week.
And she's still young, only 19 years old. That'll continue to improve with the more experience she gets playing these big matches.
Stosur, by comparison, has just had one 3-set match, and we mentioned that she was on a set and a break against Zhang Ji.
Fought back beautifully yesterday, didn't get down on herself, and that was really the key. And also had that big win against Anna Ivanovic. Ivanovic, not the same player she was when she won the French Open last year, but still a great win for Stosur. See Cirstea inside the baseline here, trying to take control of these points, and that's what you want to do against Sam Stosur. She hits with so much spin. You want to be able to take those balls early and be the one in control of the points, making Stosur have to play defense. That's where she's least comfortable.
Yeah, and that kind of play there, Karina, is something we saw from Zhang Ji, but it was so effective, taking it early, creating angle, hitting sharply.
Well, it starts with a good first serve, and I'm watching Cirstea a little bit. She's walking gingerly on that foot, and it looks to me, and I know she's not that patient to begin with, but she might even be going for a little bit more because she doesn't seem like she wants to move.
So the first serve gets her first game today in the semifinals. Lindsay, who has the edge here?
Well, both their forehands are their weapon, so had to be even on that. The backhand to Cirstea, but the serve and volley really to Stosur. She's so great in doubles, and that big first serve is such a weapon. The return to Cirstea, she's very comfortable at the baseline. She looks to be aggressive from that position of the court. And the intangible is definitely to Stosur. She's riding high with confidence. We mentioned the injury that goes against Cirstea.
Really good, yeah. 15 love.
And there's that serve she used so effectively against Zhang Ji yesterday. Got a little predictable with it, but one of the few female players that can get that ball to kick so far wide. Cirstea was reaching for that ball outside the alley. Really opens up the whole court for Stosur if the return does go back into play.
49.
Nothing wrong with that delivery.
And she also possesses the hard one. That one was at 109. She had one earlier this match. She missed it, but at 117. So she really has the full repertoire with that serve.
Yeah, Stosur is looking good here in the early goings. 4-1. Back at the Home Depot Center, Stosur and Cirstea squaring off in the semifinals. On that last change of our Sorana, Cirstea was getting some treatment. Karina, what did you see down there?
Well, I saw what you saw, Leaf, but I did speak to a WTA Tour staff member before the match, and they said Cirstea, as Lindsay mentioned, aggravated a plantar fasciitis injury. And the important thing for her is that she's not going to make the injury worse, but it's just a matter of how she's going to be able to tolerate the pain. She came off the court yesterday after her match against Radwanska, went straight to the trainer, put that foot in ice, took an ice bath, tried to get the inflammation down as much as possible.
Yeah, now this was yesterday, these pictures here, and you can see she was getting the full massage on the foot, and I've had the plantar fasciitis. That is not it's a very painful injury.
And for someone that takes as big of a cut at the ball as Cirstea, it's so important for her to be in good position. Take a look at Sven Gronefeld, part of the Adidas team working with Cirstea.
Cirstea, part of that Adidas coaching team. She spent 10 days with Gil Reyes in Las Vegas, and Gil Reyes being Andre Agassi's longtime trainer. She also works a little bit with Conchita Martinez.
Seems like they've got a good thing going. Darren Cahill also a part of that team Adidas. Seems like the players are responding well to that, and the ones who have gotten guidance, and
Ana Ivanovic is another player.
Fernando Verdasco has played well in Australia after spending some of the Christmas holidays in Vegas.
Really
Caroline Wozniacki.
Yeah, and an interesting concept with not normal in tennis for tennis players to share coaches, especially top players. So really the first time personally I've ever seen that, and men's and women's players, and it's a very unique situation they have going right now. Tennis is definitely not a team sport.
So Cirstea holds on to her serve, but down a break. Here's our Orbit's trivia question. Who is the only Romanian player to win a Sony Ericsson WTA Tour singles title in 2009? Just for your information, I mentioned that Cirstea won Tashkent, but that was in 2008.